when I reached that kind of success, which I had no idea about before, I had only dreamed about it. I had only wished about it, but I never knew how big it's going to be. You never know.
Right.
You want to be a big star, you want to have name, but you don't know how much name can you have. You don't know when the existence is going to, shower its abundance on you. You don't know the capacity of it. And when you see the kind of startups that I have seen, the capacity was gigantic. And just to some level, it took me years to even absorb it. A lot of people wouldn't even talk to you if they would not see you in branded clothes. Let me put it as honestly, as clearly as possible. A lot of these so-called big film actors or producers will not, even if they came from poverty, they will not even look at you or talk to you, because now you are poor. The day you become rich and the day you have that kind of name, they'll talk to you.
Hi Shama, welcome to the Human Ping, and I'm so glad that I'll be interviewing you because you have always been honest and you always speak from your heart. So it's always wonderful interviewing you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So obviously my first question would be very cliche. This lockdown has taught us a lot of things. What has this lockdown taught you?
Oh my God, so many things. Self-discovery to another level. Even though I'm so spiritual and, meditative, and I keep learning, I'm a learner, I'm a seeker. But there's so much more to learn. Like, we are such deep creatures that when the layers start to open, you learn this new thing about yourself every freaking day. So it has been a very enlightening journey for me, this whole lockdown. I thought I was quite spiritual and quite aware of myself, but there are so many things that I had no idea about me, and that I was confused about, because it's everyday training, everyday mind training. तो कभी हम झूठ सुनते हैं, कभी कुछ सुनते हैं, कभी कुछ सुनते हैं, तो वो mind corrupt होता रहता है, data corrupt होता रहता है mind का. So you have to sort of bring it back to the balance again. You have to bring it to awareness again. It's an everyday struggle, or work, I would say, not struggle. So yeah, I came to know a lot about myself. I meditated the hell out of myself. I think I meditated 2 to 3 times a day. And once you know a lot about yourself, or once you know you, then everything around you changes. So I think it's like a time for me to bring a new me. I learned to be a new me, leaving all the traumas and leaving all my past behind. And it keeps happening to me every 4-5 years. I've seen this huge change occurs in my life, and it changes me as a person completely. So this time it has been much deeper and stronger, thanks to this lockdown, because there was nothing else there to sort of divert my attention to.
Did you have to battle anything from within in this?
Lot of things every time. I mean, the moment you look within, there's so much constant battle as to what you have been taught to believe, and then what is the truth. So there's a constant contradiction happening. But I know this, but but I heard this, but I've been believing this about myself. And how are you telling me that no, that's not correct, this is correct? Suddenly there's a new idea popping up in your brain, and then the 30 years or the 25 years of age that you are, or 40 years, 50, whatever age that you've actually lived believing a particular thing. And suddenly now there's a new revelation. You're like, oh, I'm not there, I'm not that, I'm this. So it's just to, first of all, just to understand that and be open enough to understand that it is okay to discover the new you, and it is okay, the new you, to be different than what you have been so far. And it is absolutely allowed and okay to become the new you, and leave all the traumas and misery and whatever you've been clinging on to so far long in your life. So there's a constant battle, there's a constant contradiction, there's a constant push and pull happening. But I also learned to surrender quite a bit. in the past few years of my life. I think surrender is the biggest, one of the biggest lessons of my life. Once you learn to surrender, there's no resistance. And when there's no resistance, you just flow so beautifully. Everything just pours into you. It just goes, you're not resisting anything. You're just open to receive all the abundance of the universe. So I have been spiritually very, very happy.
I see. Last time when we spoke, you told about the struggle that you had to go through before entering the industry, and how difficult was it for you to go from door to door to audition and then getting selected and getting replaced, and then,
Right.
but your breakthrough was on TV. Ye Meri Life Hai. And I think that show is
Yeah.
still so memorable, and everybody still remembers that show because
Yeah.
in the midst of all the Saas Bahu serials, that was a breath of fresh air that this girl is ambitious.
Yes.
She wanted to be a
Yes.
director, and that girl
Yes.
was so ambitious,
Yes.
and that was a breath of fresh air. I think that's why a lot of people got glued to that show. So of
Yes.
course, when you
Yes.
saw
Absolutely.
when you saw like success of that level from that show, was it again difficult for you after seeing that success? Now what? Because now you have reached the peak. What exactly happened when that show ended?
Actually, so many things happened. It's such a big question you asked me. Nobody asked me this question before, and I keep telling everybody that when I reached that kind of success, which I had no idea about before, I had only dreamed about it. I had only wished about it, but I never knew how big it's going to be. You never know.
Right.
You want to be a big star, you want to have name, but you don't know how much name can you have. You don't know when the existence is going to, shower its abundance on you. You don't know the capacity of it. And when you see the kind of stardoms that I have seen, the capacity was gigantic. And just to some level, it took me years to even absorb it, that it is mine. And by the time I absorbed it is mine, it was mine. because when I was into it, when I was a star, when I was the superstar of television, or whatever you want to call it, I was just so overwhelmed with everything that was happening around me. I was overworked. I was, every energy was overwhelming. Whenever I performed, whether it was bad scene, good scene, pathetic scene, everybody just come and told me that how wonderful I was. But
Right.
from within, I knew that how bad I performed in that scene, but still these people are like going gaga about it. And I had a hard time accepting that, honestly. I thought that people lie, and they lie to you because you're a star, because now your time has changed. And I saw how people who behaved in a different way before I was a star suddenly became so friendly and so nice to me, and suddenly started telling me, "Arey, hame to pata tha ye bahut badi star banegi," and blah blah blah. And you're like, dude, you're the one who never gave me work. Dude, you're the one who actually told people not to take me, not to cast me. So all this was just overwhelming. The success taught me a lot. I still remember one scenario, one scene from, I went to some award function, and that time, I mean, I'm grateful that press and everybody was so kind to me and so loving to me always. Everywhere I went, I got extra attention. I feel it was extra. And I'm grateful for that. But I went to one event, and I remember one very big superstar passing through me. At her time, she was a superstar. But I saw the press going crazy and taking photos of me, and nobody even asked her anything. Nobody even stopped her. And she just passed through me. And that moment, I remember that woman. And then she looked back. And that look in her eyes told me something. It gave me a pit in my soul that this is what happens when you don't have name. When you are a star, everybody wants to take your photos, and it's all about the stardom. It's all about this fake personality that everybody portrays on screen. Everybody loves the puja. Nobody loves the shama. I mean, only my loved ones love me because they know me. I mean, but it's difficult for them also to love me, because even I hardly knew myself. I don't know who I was. So, that whole realization that this could happen to me, it made me very, very strong and curious. Very curious to know how can I how can I just not let it affect me at all? How can I become a person that it doesn't affect me at all, whether I have fame or no fame, whether I want to act because I love acting and not because I want to be famous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So before I became an actor, it was my father's dream for me to become an actor. And then I literally after becoming such a star, and all these things that started to affect me, and then I fell into depression, and then I took a break. I left everything. The height of my life, I just left everything. Everybody called me crazy, and everybody told me, well, why are you doing this? And I just said, like, I need to understand life. I need to understand who I am and why am I here and what is my higher purpose, and why am I being gifted this gift of being such a wonderful actor. I want to understand what is my role in this universe, other than just acting on screen. I want to understand it in depth. And I left and I took a sabbatical for 5 years in search of life. And when I came back, honestly, I asked this question to myself, because now I was a person that knew me, that loved me, and that I was aware, and I was me. And I asked myself, now, what do you want to do? What would you like to do if given a choice? Because before I didn't have a choice, but now I do. So I tried a few things. I like, should I do this? Should I do that? Would I be good in business? And blah, blah, blah. But this whole acting thing is just so me. It just comes so naturally to me. It's just such a big gift. If I didn't use it properly, I mean, I wouldn't feel right. So then this thing came that I want to be an actor, and I then started acting just purely for myself. And that's why I was so fearless in taking up very bold projects. And I was so fearless because I didn't care what people will judge and how they would. All I wanted to do is just give my 100% to what I was doing, and bring some do projects which sort of change, which can broaden our horizon as human beings, and it can give us some kind of idea about there are other worlds and other people, or the kind of things that exist in the world which we have no idea about, and we must be open to that. So yeah, that's the case.
You mentioned that at your peak you got depression. Was stardom one of the reasons of depression? And I know a lot of people who have not experienced stardom would question that,
Yeah.
I think everybody would enjoy stardom, like everybody loves you. Why would you fall into depression?
Yeah.
So could you elaborate for
But
them?
it's not real love, you see. It's not real love, honestly. I mean, these people are also innocent. They see you as a character on screen, and then they love that filmy heroine who looks good, or a television star who's so nice and who's like Pooja Mehta. Oh my gosh, she's such a simple girl. But I'm not a simple girl. I'm complex. I'm ambitious. I like to live my life on my own terms. I'm totally different. So there's this big fight that, do they love me or do they love this character that I portray? Do they love all these different characters that I portray on screen? Do they love me without makeup? Do they love me in my sad moments? Do they love me when I'm cranky? When I'm, but at the time when I started acting, nobody was even honest about speaking anything. If I wanted to speak anything, everybody would shush me off, because it'd be like, no, you can't talk like this. This is against the rule. Like, it's like as if there's some big rule of being an actor, like you can't speak the truth. So I think I was one of the probably the first one to speak the truth. So I was like, I don't care if my career goes for a toss. I don't give a damn about it. I want people to know that we are real people, that we also get affected by a lot of things, that we are human as you are. Just because we end up doing certain things on screen which are inhuman or which are superhuman, does not make us any less of a human.
Right. You spoke about that. You also questioned, will they love me without makeup? And as a matter of fact, like all the females, I think even male stars, I'm not gonna generalize, but still, I think the pressure is more on the females. And even as journalists, sometimes we are told that, please lose some weight. You look better on screen, or something of that sort. And I'm sure that pressure must be a lot more on actresses. So did anyone? So did anyone, while you were auditioning or while you were working, did anybody try to make you insecure of your looks? Like, sometimes we are fine, we don't realize, and somebody tells you, what, I think you should, I guess maybe put more makeup on your nose or something like that, and then you just keep on focusing on your nose all the time. Did it ever
I
happen?
know what you're saying. No, it's so, I mean, it's strange. It happened to me the opposite way. People told me I'm too beautiful. People told me that, Arey, you should, like, you know, you're too fair. You should tan up a little bit or do tan makeup. But I'd be like, but this is my color. Oh, your hair is like, oh, too good. Yeah. I mean, do something that you look normal. I mean, what do you mean normal? I mean, this is me. This is normal me. You know, okay. Oh my God, the heroine is looking too fair. Let the hero put fair makeup and let the heroine put dark makeup. So it has happened to me on the set. Yes. Yes, it has happened to me. So I'm like, why are they making me look like a bandar? Because, you know, when you do dark makeup, it's not like in India, we don't have a concept of dark. Dark means red. You know, so it's like they make you look so red, and even the guy is looking like a red monkey. I mean, I don't understand why can't you accept people for who they are? Beautiful, not beautiful. I mean, whatever. What is the tagline of beauty? What do you mean by beauty? Beauty is in everybody. Is how you look at that beauty, right? So to me, I started to hate my looks because I was like, Arey, so many projects I wouldn't get. Nah, Shama, you're too pretty. You're too beautiful. But you should at least give me a chance. No. Kya hota hai na? See, people say, look at somebody like Aishwarya Rai, or look at somebody like, you know, somebody who's so beautiful, uski acting dikhti nahi hai. So I said, yaar, mere ko, you give me a chance. I am an actor. It's my job to make you believe what I do. And which is what happens whenever somebody has given me a chance, I have portrayed that role so well that everybody's like, oh, she can only be girl next door. And then I portray a sexy role in the next year. Oh my God, she can only be, you know, sexy woman. She's hot. She's this. But you are the same people who said, I can't look sexy.
Right.
And you're the same people who said, oh, I can't look girl next door. So decide. Don't put me in the cage. You know, I always fought against it. Why do you have to put somebody in a cage? Why do you have to put somebody in a religious cage, in a looks cage, in a weight cage, in a, you know, whatever cage? I mean, freaking be free. Love yourself, whatever beauty, whatever kind you are. There are different kind of people in this world. And I think we as individuals, not only just the producers, director, as public also needs to accept you as who you are. I have friends who are not into film line. They say, अरे यार ये इतनी मोटी हो गई, कैसे मोटी हो गई? अरे यार वो इंसान है यार, तुमको क्या लगता है मशीन है वो, कभी मोटी नहीं होगी, उसको भी डिप्रेशन होता होगा, उसने भी इतने इमोशंस झेले अपनी लाइफ में, तुमसे कई ज्यादा इमोशंस झेले हैं. So I've had arguments with my friends. Okay, I'll ask you, cry right now, can you cry? No, how can I cry? But she's getting paid for it. What do you mean? If you're doing a job, if you're getting paid for it, that doesn't mean that you are not human.
Right.
That you don't have a right to be human.
Right.
So people fail to understand that. They think ये जो दिख रहा है बस 24 hours ऐसी उठती होगी, ऐसी सोती होगी. Bye. You know, we are as human as you are. We have a whole team that makes us look like this. We work towards it because this is our line. This is our, you know, our career. But then there, you know, I think there's nothing wrong in being ready. There's nothing wrong in doing makeup. There's nothing wrong. It's these extra taglines that we put, no extra pressure. ऐसा है तो ऐसा क्यों, वैसा है तो वैसा क्यों. भाई हर चीज को होना जरूरी है. आज अगर जो भी चीज है उसका मुकम्मल होना ही खुदा की मर्जी है. उसका इस दुनिया में होना खुदा की मर्जी है. तो आप कैसे डाउट कर सकते हो? आप कैसे कह सकते हो कि इसको फिल्टर नहीं यूज करना चाहिए, इसको ये नहीं करना चाहिए, ये प्लास्टिक सर्जरी करती है, इसका नोज ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, इसको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. अरे भाई क्यों? हर एक की जिंदगी है, वो जैसा जीना चाहे उसे जिए. You know, जब हम ये प्रेशर करते हैं ना, ये चीजें ज्यादा खराब करती है. These are the things that really ruins everything for us.
Right.
So I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything bad in becoming better day by day. And however you feel your better is. You know, some people do it with exercise. Some people. Why do you want to change the color? Otherwise, you know, be like a jungly only. Don't cut your hair. Don't go anywhere. Just be natural. That's the natural state. Don't be anything. Don't take a shower also. Why do you want to take a shower? Be like a jungly. Grow hair everywhere. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like when people add these extra pressures. अरे तो हमेशा मेकअप में रहती है, अरे नहीं रहेगी तो भी तुमको प्रॉब्लम है, रहेगी तो भी तुमको प्रॉब्लम है. भाई मेकअप अच्छा लगता है, उसको लगाती है, तुम्हारा क्या ले रही है? तुम्हारे से थोड़ी पैसे लेके जा रही है. So I don't understand these things. Why people put everybody with so much pressure?
Right. when you became famous and when you saw success, I'm sure whenever you were entering a restaurant or anywhere, even if people were not coming up to you, they were always noticing you. Like, they were must be like among themselves that, oh, that's that girl,
Yeah,
and then would like scrutinize each moment of yours so that they can tell
yeah.
other people, I met this person and she was doing this. Did you feel that, and did you feel that you became very conscious because of that, because now everybody is noticing you, what is she doing, and then they will kind of exaggerate to their friends also?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially if you're a pretty girl, if I mean, even before I became a star, I was a, kya kehte hain? I was used to it
Yeah.
because, wherever I went, everybody would just stare at me. And I had somehow gotten used to it. But
Hmm.
it surprised me when some people who, just by staring at me, make a story. Arey, I met her and she was talking like this and she was doing this, she
Hmm.
was doing that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or built a personality in their own mind. Arey, I saw her standing with this woman or that man. And if that man or a woman has a history, they'll straight away put you, because she was
Hmm.
standing with this one, she's like this. I'm telling you, she has a whole history. मतलब उनकी दिमाग में अपनी history बन जाती है. So
Right,
you're
that's
like,
true.
hello, just because I stood with somebody, I'm just a nice person. Anybody speaks to me, I'll speak to them very nicely. I'm just not a rude person. If somebody is speaking to me, I will speak, nicely. I will speak to them nicely. But I don't understand why people have to make this whole story. Like, so many people have, when they met me later, our industry people have said sorry to me. Sorry, yaar, we thought, yaar, we saw your picture with this one, that one, and we thought you're also like them, but
Hmm.
you're so different. And I'm like, but what makes you think like that? No, just because you're standing with them, I don't know. We just think like that. You have no idea about who I am. You just see. So these are the ideas. We need to change this. We have to teach our brain that we have to be open enough to give a chance to a human being to prove themselves for who they are before we even judge them for who they should be or are or could be.
Right. Of course, you were an outsider and you made a mark. And as I mentioned, that, you kind of had to struggle a lot. But another thing, a lot
Yeah.
of people might not know that you were also struggling financially before you became a star. And
Yes. Yes.
yeah, so did you feel that when you entered this world, people not only judged you because you were an outsider, but because they had this elitist attitude also? That, you know, like,
You mean to say the rich ones?
yeah, like, like there is one pressure of being an outsider and how people perceive you, that this person doesn't know anything about the industry, and so on and so forth. But there's another thing, which like elitism, like, when you go in a crowd, they will judge you by your clothes, and if they know where you come from, like even if it's from a small town or your financial background. Did you face that kind of judgment?
A lot, a lot.
Can you
That
elaborate on that?
that I
What
faced a
exactly?
lot. Well, a lot of people wouldn't even talk to you if they would not see you in branded clothes. Let me
What's
put it
that?
as honestly,
Yeah.
as clearly as possible. A lot of these so-called big film actors or producers will not, even if they came from poverty, they will not even look at you or talk to you because now you are poor. The day you become rich and the day you have that kind of name, they'll talk to you. But till then, they will behave as if like you're some like outsider. You don't belong here. There's a very weird, unsaid look that they have, and I try to question that look quite a few times, as in because I like to question myself. I like to question a thought that comes into my mind. That is it me? Is it me who's thinking that because of my own experience or my own burden or my own guilt about my life, or is it the thing? Is that the real thought that's coming out of that human being? So it has happened again and again and again and again, and I've seen that multiple times, that people who have a lot of money or people who come from very rich backgrounds have this very very high society kind of
Snobbish.
attitude. yeah, very snobbish. I mean they're dumb in life, I'm sorry to say. They are very, very, you can't even have a conversation with them without brands or anything. Or the only conversation they have is like, oh, I have this watch, or I have this purse, and I have these shoes, and oh my god, what a lovely thing you're wearing, and everything is about just brands and money you have. You can't have a real life conversation with them. So to me, they are the ones who are losers. You understand? To me, they are the one who can't even talk to you, who give you a chance to you know um, to be inclusive. Because I'm very inclusive person. I like to include people who
You
I
can
like to
show
just give
everybody that she
everybody
is
a
very
chance.
warm.
Because I come from a very, very affluent family, but then my father had a lot of difficulties in his life, and I've seen that, and I've seen this. So I've seen both. And money never really it matters to me. It matters to me when it comes to living a good life that we want, but it's not everything. To me, what matters is what kind of a person you are, what kind of conversations do you hold, how open and inclusive you are, how warm and compassionate you are. I mean, how kind you are. That's what excites me. So you could be a prime minister of a country, and if you're not a nice person, I wouldn't give a damn. I'd be like, whoa, guy, I mean, big no. I don't want to even talk to you. Keep your money at home, keep your name at home. To me, great conversations matter. To me, real people matter. To me, that's what matters. But yes, I have faced it a lot in our line. I remember one time when I was in ABCL, Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited. I was a finalist in that, and they had taken us somewhere. I don't remember the place, but I do remember this moment because it must have hit me very hard. At that time, we were literally going through a very bad financial period, and I didn't have money to buy good clothes. And there were a couple of students, I would say. There were a couple of finalists who came from very rich families. So they would wear very good clothes, and I would wear whatever was available to me, And then suddenly, I remember when we were all sleeping, and I just fell asleep there, but I was still awake. I could hear them talk. And this girl, she's saying, look at her, man. She doesn't even have, good clothing sense. And look at her, what kind of clothes she wears. Oh my God, that's so LS. Something like that, she said. And even worse, it hit me so much. While in my sleep, I had tears falling. I mean, she has no idea of my background. She has no idea of my struggle. She has no idea where I come from. So now today, when people tell me, oh my God, we love your dressing style, it just makes me laugh. It's like, there was a time when people thought I don't have a good style, because sometimes you need some experience. I don't have my ancestors bringing me all the great stuff. I'm proud that I made it on my own, and I'm proud that I can buy my clothes with my own money. And I'm proud that this style that I have today is my inbuilt style. It's me. And if I'm getting praises, then it is all me. It's not mere papa ne laake diye, ki mere chacha ne laake diye, ki mere mama ne laake diye. You understand?
Right.
So yeah,
so
it's absolutely
when you started off again after 5 years sabbatical, how difficult or easy was it for you then? Because now people in the industry would know you they have seen your work, they know you as a person. How difficult or easy was it for you, your second innings, if I may say so?
It was difficult to come back because of the line that I left had completely changed in 5 years. Right. The people had changed. The whole look and feel of this industry had changed. I still, of course, I still had friends, but I didn't keep in touch with them. So I was totally like out of touch. And we are out of touch, you're out of mind, it actually is like that. And so it was tough for me to sort of get in contact with everybody again. But it was easy in terms of I was much more clear than before. I was fearless. I was ready to get out of my comfort zone. I was ready to face the world in a much in a very, very strong, clear way. And I was a much better actor because all this clarity made me a much better actor. So I knew that whatever work I'll do now is going to be some of the best works of my life. So yeah, it was difficult to sort of make contacts again. I had to start to go meet people and all that. And also when you, I think but it's all in your mind, you see. It was all in my mind. I feel like when you have made it once, to reconnect with people and to sort of, I think it's an ego trick that plays on your mind that, Arey, I'm already a name. How do I ask for work from people? So, it's your own battle within. Will it look okay if I tell people like, hi sir, I'm looking for work and all that? So that was my own battle that I had to fight, but I won. And I learned that there is no ego. When you know that you are good at something, there's no harm in sort of messaging anybody and asking them for work. So I did that. I messaged a few people, and luckily Vikram was making Maya, and we spoke about my depression. He asked me, where were you for so many years? And I said I was battling depression and all that. And then he suddenly offered me, hey, would you do this web series with me? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, I'll give it a year. And I heard it, and within like 2 hours I said yes to him to do that. So
and that series has done really well.
Yeah,
it's a big hit on the internet.
It is a big hit. It was also nominated in the France Film Festival, if I'm correct. Marseille Film Festival.
I didn't know that.
And we were in the top 6 web series of all times.
That's amazing. Such a huge, like God actually kind of paid you for your patience that you showed for 5 years. So God always listens eventually.
Always.
I want to ask you, what did you do in those 5 years to stay afloat? Because now you were an independent girl, and then you go through such a hard time, such as depression. What did you do to stay afloat in those times? Because you had to work on yourself mentally, but then you also must have had bills to pay at the end.
Well, luckily by then I had made a lot of money, because I was one of the highest paid actor on television, and I did charge a bomb, and people paid me a lot to have me. And I did some saving. I have some very, very good friends who suggested me to sort of invest in some properties and stuff. So I had that sorted. And I remember having a conversation with my best friend that I said, Baba, I don't know what to do. I don't think I can work anymore because I can't concentrate, and I need to focus on myself, and I need to find out what this thing is all about. And I need to, and I just kept talking. He goes, hold on. What do you want to do? I said, I don't know. What do you mean? What do I want to do? Because forget about work. Imagine everything is sorted. Imagine you can do whatever you want to do. What would you do? I said, I think I would travel. I love traveling. He said, okay, pack your bags, go. I said, what do you mean go? I mean, what about everything? He said, everything is sorted. Don't worry. We are settled. You don't need to worry. And literally, I just packed my bag and I just started traveling everywhere.
Wow.
And I traveled and I traveled and I traveled and I explored, and I met normal people outside of our industry, which never happened to me before. I was always workaholic. I was always working. So to me, that was quite a revelation. To me, that was quite a relief to know some normal people outside that lives a normal life. Because, to me, biggest question was, how do people live a normal life? How do you not have any desire or any ambition? How can you be just a normal housewife? How can you be just a normal person doing a normal job? It just didn't resonate with me, because from my childhood, I was always taught to have big dreams and have, become something big. And only then when you become something big, you be something of value. That's what I learned, that even only if you become something really big, will I be of some value. So this value thing is so bloody so difficult, so layered, that you have to find value within. Even if you don't do anything, even if you just breathe, you have value. That's what I'm trying to pass on to people now, that your breathing in this existence is of value. Your being here in this very moment, sitting here, me sitting here talking to you, has value. Everything has value. you have value at all point in your life, whether you're successful, whether you are a failure in your own mind. Nobody is a failure to me. I feel I learned that there is nothing called failure. It's either learning or, you know, even success. Success is learning. Every time you're just learning, you're just growing as a person. So for me, it took me 5 years to understand that I have value, that I am enough for just being me. And I don't have to be a superstar. I don't have to be something to impress somebody, because I wanted to be a superstar so badly, so that my father can feel proud of me. You know, that he has worked so hard for me to reach where I have, and I wanted to just give him that joy, you know. But the more I worked hard towards it, the more it killed me as a person. You know, because I was a people pleaser. I was such a good girl. I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to be the best daughter, the best everything, the best, the perfect person. But it's not possible. We are perfect with our imperfection, and we have to learn to love our imperfections. And so the moment I started going out and meeting normal people and seeing the joy that a normal housewife gets just by waking up in the morning, taking care of her kids, her family, her husband, even if she's not doing all of that, or even if somebody's not doing all of that, just by being themselves, there's so much value. There's so much we do for this existence. There's so much we give already, that we think that we have to climb a mountain to give something. But no, we are giving just by breathing. Everybody in the end wants to serve, right? Everybody in the end wants to be this person of some value. Like, I did something, like, you know, because parents teach you from the beginning, ये करना है, because तुमको ये बनना है, because तुम्हारा ये नाम होना चाहिए, तब हमारे खानदान का नाम होगा. खानदान का नाम रोशन करो बेटा. कैसे? डॉक्टर बनके, इंजीनियर बनके. क्यों? ऐसे खानदान का नाम रोशन नहीं होगा. मैं आपके खानदान में आई हूँ, उससे आपका खानदान का नाम रोशन नहीं होगा. इतना ही बहुत है. So ये जो ट्रेनिंग है ना हमारी, ये गलत है. ये जो बहुत सारी हमें, and उनकी भी गलती नहीं है. They have also learned this from their parents. So it's like a youth circle that just keeps rotating every time. So each individual, till we don't become conscious of our actions, conscious of our behavior, we will just keep going on and on and on in the same rut. You know, so we have to stop somewhere, and we have to get out of it and see the world from outside perspective, and see what life is all about. For me, life was all about going to the set, coming back, you know, again preparing the next day. I want to do this scene like that. I want to do that scene, and you know, I want people clapping for me. I want to win this award. I want to win that award. And if that didn't happen, I would feel sad. Oh shit, why didn't I get it? I deserved it, you know. And then there's that misery, there's that dissatisfaction that I deserve something and I didn't get it. So all this just plays such a big part in your mind. I mean, I learned to sort of just let it go, and I just learned to do what I do just for the pure satisfaction of love, just for pure love, just for the love of just for my love towards the art, towards what I do. Yeah,
that's amazing. My last question would be, what are your upcoming projects? Because a lot of people have been waiting to see you on screen again.
I know. Yeah. I had signed 3 projects before the pandemic. Then they obviously just, you know, a lot of things change in this world, in this pandemic. This thing has changed the bloody economy of the world. So, you know, a lot of projects are being shelved. Not a lot of them are not being made. But I keep getting offers every now and then. One of them I will be starting in Jan for sure.
Is that the film which is with other 2 or 3 girls that you were doing?
No, that I left.
Okay.
I left.
Okay.
I left that film long back. I didn't quite like the whole scenario. So no, I will be starting a web series in January for sure, and I have a couple of music videos lined up, so I'll be doing that.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope that
Thank you,
2021 we finally see you back on screen acting.
I mean, I will be. I know for sure. I will come back on screen and big time.
Thank you so much,
I'm focused.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Take care.
You too.
Thank you.